Yep. Okay. Oh my God. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Roll for Cake. No, I'm not wearing a shirt, and no, I won't put one on. If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. I'm an amateur baker, and in this baking series, Roll for Cake, we use random dice rolls associated with 4 different categories: cake type, cake flavor, frosting type, and frosting flavor, to randomly create cake and frosting type combinations, and then we bake, taste, and rate them no matter how absurd they may seem. Now, a quick refresh for those that aren't aware on the rolls from last week's episode. We rolled probably the most viral recipe I could possibly conceive. We have a Dubai chocolate layer cake with a Dulce de Leche whipped cream. Now, in the sake of brevity and because this combination sounds ridiculously good, let me quickly get down to the combination breakdown. Now, Dubai chocolate is everywhere at the moment. I mean, even Lindt has released a $20 Dubai chocolate bar to try and get some of that sweet, sweet hype money. So as soon as it came up on the die, I knew we'd be onto a winner. Now, I had some idea of what the Dubai chocolate was. You may have seen the chocolate bars with the green filling. Now, the chocolate's not anything special. It's just milk, dark or white chocolate surrounding the bar. It's the filling that actually makes it. Now, the filling is a mix of 3 different ingredients. Now, you may have seen the first one. It looks kind of like shredded coconut. It's kataifi or kadaif, depending on the region, and it's a filo or pastry dough that's been shredded really fine and then normally gets toasted or baked so it gets really crispy and flavorful. Now, the second ingredient is pistachio spread, not to be confused with pistachio butter, which happened in this episode here. And it is very similar to Nutella, but instead of hazelnut based like Nutella is, it's pistachio based spread. So it's very sweet, milky, and smooth. And that's part of what's getting mixed into the formulation. Now, the third ingredient, which I actually didn't realize was in there, is tahini. Now, tahini is just a paste or a spread made of purely sesame seeds. So we have this savory, nutty flavor mixed in with the sweet, milky, creamy of the pistachio, and then we get this toasty crunch. Now, obviously, because we're doing Dubai chocolate, that's the filling, the green aspect of it, and then we have the chocolate coating around it. But given we've been given a layer cake, I figured we could just make the cake chocolate and then have the filling in between. So a layer cake is exactly as it sounds, and it's what you probably imagine when you picture a cake with multiple layers. It's literally just a couple of moist cakes with frosting in between. So this is why it works perfectly for our Dubai chocolate. We have that moist chocolate cake, and then we have the Dubai chocolate filling in between those layers instead of a traditional frosting. Now, Dulce de Leche has gained a lot of popularity recently, and for good reason. It translates to candy made from milk. That's what the leche is, and that's exactly how it differs from a normal caramel. Caramel is normally made by heating up sugar, and then you'll add butter or cream to it. The Dulce de Leche is made by heating milk and sugar together, and it just gives this deeper, richer, creamier flavor than you'd get from a traditional caramel. So we have this very heavy, thick, sweet, creamy Dulce de Leche, but we're gonna whip it into some whipped cream, which should hopefully offset some of the heaviness. So we have this moist chocolate cake with these creamy layers in between, and then the whole thing is going to be encased in this light, sweet, rich, creamy whipped cream with these caramel notes. So all in all, this picture sounds amazing, so let's get to it. So we will begin by preheating our oven to 177 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While that's preheating, it's time to grease and line 2 9-inch cake pans. All right, let's make our cake super easy. We'll start with our dry ingredients. We'll add 219 grams or 1 3/4 cups of flour to a bowl. Then 62 grams of cocoa, 350 grams or 1 3/4 cups granulated sugar, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, optionally 2 teaspoons of espresso powder. Give those a nice thorough whisk and set aside. Now we're done with our dry ingredients, let's start with our wet. Add 120 mils of vegetable oil to a bowl, along with 2 large room temperature eggs, 240 mils of buttermilk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and give those a nice thorough whisk. We'll then add our wet ingredients into our dry ingredients, along with 240 mils of hot, freshly brewed coffee. Divide the batter evenly, roughly evenly, between both pans. You can weigh them if you'd like to make sure they're exactly the same. And we'll put these in the oven for 22 to 26 minutes until a toothpick comes out of the center clean. So remove the cakes from the oven, set them onto a wire rack and allow them to cool completely. Now the Dubai chocolate filling comes together super easily. 3 ingredients, 1 bowl, and we're done. Now when you get the phyllo dough, oftentimes it comes raw. The stuff that I bought is already pre-baked and pre-toasted just to make my life a little easier. If yours isn't, you'll just have to toast it on the pan till it gets nice and brown and crispy. So to a bowl, add 140 grams of the kadayif, 200 grams of the pistachio spread, 2 tablespoons of tahini, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and mix until well combined and set aside. Okay, this was a lot drier and a lot thicker than I was expecting it to be. Eventually, kind of came together, and it's gonna form a very nice, crunchy, crispy layer between our cake, but it just requires a little bit of work. And lastly, let's do our Dulce de Leche whipped cream. Again, super easy. So to a bowl, add 250 mils of heavy whipping cream, 250 grams of Dulce de Leche, and 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. Mix at medium-high speed until peaks begin to form and the mixture becomes nice and thick. You don't have to add the cornstarch, it just helps to stabilize. And because we're putting it on the outside of a cake and we want to stay on there, it's best to do so. All in all, these came together super easily. Super simple cake recipe, super simple frostings, no issues there whatsoever. Even amateur like me can handle it. The only thing left to do now is put all 3 together and hopefully we get some nice flavor and texture combinations. The cakes look super moist. The Dulce de Leche cream also seems absolutely beautiful. Hopefully they just go well together texturally. So now it's time to put all these pieces together. Okay, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous. It is huge. The cake is really, really moist, so cutting it in half was kind of risky, but I wanted to get those layers. The Dubai chocolate filling, it doesn't have a lot of structural integrity. It's kind of like just wet sand, so cutting through the cake was a little bit difficult and they kind of blended together, but all in all, this looks really, really good and I cannot wait to taste it. So there is so much cake here I didn't realize, but I'm very excited to see how this goes. I'll try and get some of, oh man, my mouth. I'll try and get all of the elements on this spoon. Oh. I don't know. Where do I start? Every element on there is amazing. The cake is so moist and so chocolatey. The Dubai chocolate filling is not actually that sweet. I think the tahini, the sesame seed paste has overridden a lot of that sweetness. So this is not overpoweringly sweet at all. This is really good. And then you've got this light, creamy Dulce de Leche whipped cream on the outside. This is phenomenal. Wow, we've done really, really well here. Like structurally, it's not the most sound, but that doesn't matter. You get this crunchiness from the Dubai chocolate filling and then the moistness from the cake that falls apart. And then the creaminess, like texturally, this is a wonderland. And then the flavors, nothing is overpowering. Everything just complements each other. This is a beautiful cake. All right, I'm gonna break down a proper review and I'll come back soon. Okay, now it's time to actually rate the cake. Flavor-wise, it's delicious. I really can't fault the flavor. It is chocolatey, and then I've never experienced this Dubai chocolate. It reminds me of something like caramel or white chocolate, but it has this umami kind of flavor with the sesame. It is really, really tasty and not overly sweet either. You'd think with all these elements, this would just be a super sweet cake, but it's really not. The Dulce de Leche whipped cream is so light that it's just not punching you in the face with flavor either. It's just this subtle sweet. So with this really moist, really chocolatey cake, these other elements offset some of that sweetness. So it's really easy to eat a lot of this cake because it tastes really good and it's not sickeningly sweet. It's not super rich. It's not, I guess it's not punch in your face flavor. They are all very nice, mellow flavors, but nothing really jumps out at you other than some of the chocolatiness of the cake. So I think because it's so nice and mellow and not in your face flavor, I can't give it a 10 because it's just not oomph, but it's really nice. So I'd give it a 9. Texture wise, you've got this creaminess of the outside with the Dulce de Leche, and then you've got this moist cake, and then you've got this creamy Dubai chocolate filling. They're all really nice, but the Dubai chocolate filling has this crunchiness, which is nice, but it is slightly jarring because you're just not expecting it in a cake. Like, it's nice to have that difference in texture, but it's not common. I mean, again, this is what Roll for Cake's about, is about creating weird and wacky combinations. But I think because it's such a stark difference in texture, it does disjoint a little bit, so I can't give it a perfect score, but it's nice to have that break up in texture. It's nice to have something different, and then once the cake falls apart in your mouth, you're left with this nice little crunchy chew, which I actually really enjoy, but that jarring does knock down a point. So, I mean, texture-wise, with all those elements, the creaminess, the moisture, I'll give it a 9. And then flavor cohesion, it's beautiful. Like, you've got this rich, chocolatey cake, and then you've got this creamy, nutty, salty, sesame umami Dubai filling, and then you've got this Dulce de Leche light cream on the outside. So the flavors all go really well together, but I think because these other flavors are a little bit more prominent, you do lose a little bit of the Dulce de Leche flavor. It's really nice and really sweet and really light, but it's hard to tell that it's Dulce de Leche. That flavor just doesn't shine through. If I could get that Dulce de Leche, I got all 3 of those flavors melding together perfectly, I'd give it a 10, but because some of that is lost, I have to give this a 9 as well. But that gives us a 27 out of 30, so a total of 9 out of 10, a really good cake. So I definitely call this a win. I definitely think you guys should make this at home. The recipes come together really easily as well, and I doubt that you're gonna try anything like this. So this is a really cool, perfect example of Roll for Cake, coming up with some weird, wacky combinations that really work. Now, cake is done. It's time to roll for next week's. So starting with cake type, Medvik. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Flavor, banana. Oh, I can see that, okay. Frosting type, American buttercream. I don't know how this is gonna go. Flavor, white chocolate. Okay, we have a banana Medvik with a white chocolate American buttercream. Okay, that wraps up another episode of Roll for Cake. This was a really good one. This was such a weird, wacky combination, one that I've never really heard of before, and it really worked. I would highly recommend making this. You will have not tried anything like this. It is beautiful. So please make this cake. This is a definite win. I'm kind of sad that it's not the top because it is the perfect embodiment of Roll for Cake. It's using combinations you've never really heard or seen of before and creating something amazing. So perfect example of us, really big win. It's got me really hyped for next week's cake, which is a banana Medvik with a white chocolate American buttercream.